Most people believe that big stories start with loud moments, but this one began in a quiet hallway with a mop, a bucket of soapy water, and a girl who thought no one was watching. Lily Carter pushed her cleaning cart slowly through the long marble hallway of Blake Tower. The building was huge and shiny during the day, filled with busy workers and ringing phones. But at night it felt like a sleeping giant. The lights were softer, the halls were empty, and every sound echoed a little. Lily liked it that way. Working the night shift meant fewer people staring at her and fewer chances to make mistakes. She tied her brown hair into a loose bun, rolled up the sleeves of her blue uniform, and began wiping the glass doors. "Another clean floor, Lily," she whispered to herself with a small smile. Lily was only 22, but life had already taught her how to work hard. She cleaned offices not just for herself, but also to help take care of her younger brother, Daniel. Every dollar she earned helped keep food on their table and books in Daniel's school bag. After finishing the hallway, Lily grabbed her mop and dipped it into the bucket. The warm water smelled like lemon soap. She looked around. The building seemed empty. "Good," she said softly. Then something funny happened. A song popped into her head. At first she hummed quietly while mopping the floor. Soon the humming turned into soft singing. Her voice floated through the quiet hallway. Lily even spun once with the mop like it was a dance partner. She laughed at herself. "If anyone saw this, I'd die of embarrassment." But Lily didn't know that 2 floors above her, in a dark office, a man had just arrived unexpectedly. And he had heard everything. The man was Ethan Blake, the billionaire owner of the entire building. And he had just become very curious about the girl singing in his hallway. Ethan Blake was not supposed to be in the building that night. Most nights, the billionaire owner of Blake Tower was far away from the quiet halls of his company. His days were filled with meetings, business calls, and long flights to different cities. People often described him as serious, focused, and always busy. But tonight was different. A last-minute business problem had forced Ethan to return to his office late in the evening. The building was almost empty when his black car stopped outside the tall glass entrance. The security guard quickly opened the door. "Good evening, Mr. Blake," the man said politely. Ethan gave a small nod and walked inside. The elevator ride to the top floor was silent. When the doors opened, the hallway was dim and peaceful. Ethan loosened his tie slightly as he walked toward his office. Then he heard it. A voice. Soft at first. Someone was humming. Ethan stopped walking. The sound floated through the quiet building like a gentle breeze. It wasn't perfect singing, but it was warm and happy. That surprised him. Most people in this building sounded stressed, tired, or angry. But this voice sounded free. Curious, Ethan followed the sound down the hallway. He walked quietly so his footsteps would not echo. The humming turned into singing. Then he heard laughter. Ethan reached the corner and slowly peeked past the doorway of a nearby office. What he saw made him pause. A young woman in a blue cleaning uniform was mopping the shiny floor. But she wasn't just cleaning. She was spinning slowly with the mop as if it were part of a dance. Her voice filled the empty hall as she sang to herself. For a moment, Ethan forgot about his meetings, his company, and the long day behind him. He simply watched. The girl had no idea anyone was there. She believed she was completely alone. Ethan leaned lightly against the doorframe, a small smile forming on his face. For the first time in a long while, Blake Tower didn't feel so quiet. And Ethan Blake suddenly wanted to know who the girl with the singing voice was. The next morning, Blake Tower looked completely different from the quiet place it had been the night before. The halls were full of people walking quickly with coffee cups in their hands. Phones rang in offices, computers hummed, and workers hurried from one meeting to another. It was the busy world Lily Carter saw every day before her night shift began. But today, Lily had been asked to clean one of the most important offices in the building. The office of Ethan Blake. Her supervisor had given her the instructions earlier that morning. "Be careful in there," the woman said. "Mr. Blake is very important. Clean everything well." Lily nodded nervously. She had never been inside the billionaire's office before. She pushed her cleaning cart slowly down the hallway, trying to calm her racing thoughts. "It's just another office," she told herself. But when she reached the tall wooden door with the silver nameplate that read Ethan Blake, her hands suddenly felt shaky. Lily took a deep breath and knocked softly. No answer. She slowly opened the door. The office was huge. Sunlight poured through the tall windows, shining across a large desk, bookshelves, and soft chairs. Everything looked expensive and perfectly organized. "Okay, Lily," she whispered. "Just clean and leave." She started wiping the glass table and dusting the shelves. Then she heard a voice behind her. "Good morning." Lily jumped. She turned around so quickly that the cleaning cloth nearly slipped from her hand. Standing near the door was a tall man in a dark suit. His sharp eyes watched her calmly. Lily's heart dropped. She recognized him immediately. Ethan Blake, the owner of the entire building. I'm sorry, Lily said quickly, almost dropping her bucket. I didn't know you were here, sir. Ethan studied her face for a moment. Then he spoke again, his voice calm but curious. You were the one singing in the hallway last night, weren't you? Lily froze. Her face turned bright red. Of all the people in the world who could have heard her, it had to be the billionaire. Lily Carter felt her heart beat faster the moment Ethan Blake asked his question. You were the one singing in the hallway last night, weren't you? For a second, Lily wished the shiny floor could open up and swallow her whole. Her mind raced. He saw me dancing. Oh no. I'm going to lose my job. Lily quickly lowered her head. I'm really sorry, Mr. Blake, she said nervously. I thought the building was empty. I promise it won't happen again. She clutched the cleaning cloth tightly in her hands. This job meant everything to her. Without it, she wouldn't be able to help her younger brother Daniel with school or pay their small apartment rent. The room became quiet. Ethan Blake watched her carefully. He noticed how nervous she looked and how hard she seemed to be trying not to make a mistake. Then, something unexpected happened. Ethan laughed. It wasn't a loud laugh, but it was warm and surprised. Lily slowly looked up, confused. You're apologizing for singing? Ethan asked. Lily blinked. Yes, sir. Ethan leaned slightly against his desk. I've owned this building for many years, he said. And last night was the first time I heard someone sound happy while working here. Lily didn't know what to say. He continued, most people rush through these halls looking stressed or tired. But you were singing like the world was your stage. Lily felt her cheeks grow warm again. I didn't mean to cause trouble, she said softly. You didn't, Ethan replied. He gave her a small smile. In fact, it made the building feel less lonely. For the first time since entering the office, Lily relaxed a little. But she still couldn't believe it. Instead of being angry, the billionaire seemed amused. As Lily returned to cleaning the desk, Ethan watched her quietly. And a simple thought crossed his mind. Who is this girl who can make an empty building feel alive? After that morning, Lily found herself thinking about Ethan Blake more than she expected. It wasn't because she was nervous anymore, it was because he had been kind. Not the distant, cold type everyone whispered about in the office. He was curious, attentive, and had a quiet smile that made her heart flutter in a way she didn't fully understand. That evening, Lily pushed her cleaning cart through the hallways again. The building was empty and quiet, just like the night before. She had finished most of her tasks, dusting and mopping, when she heard a voice. Lily. She turned and froze. Ethan was standing at the doorway to his office, leaning casually against the frame. She almost dropped her cloth. I just wanted to talk for a moment, he said. His voice was calm, not commanding. I noticed how hard you work. Most people rush through their jobs, but you really care about what you do. Lily blinked. She had never had anyone, let alone a billionaire, notice her like that. I just do my best, she said softly. I have to. My brother, he's still in school and I need to help him. Ethan nodded thoughtfully. That's very admirable. It's not easy to carry responsibilities at your age. For a few minutes they talked quietly. Ethan asked about her life, her family, her dreams. Lily found herself sharing little details she hadn't told anyone at work. And she noticed something too. Ethan wasn't asking because he wanted information about her job. He seemed genuinely interested in her, in the person behind the cleaning uniform. By the time Lily left his office that night, she felt lighter, almost happy. For the first time, the building didn't feel intimidating. It felt welcoming. And Lily realized something she hadn't expected. She looked forward to seeing Ethan Blake every time she came to work. A tiny spark of curiosity, and maybe something more, had quietly begun between them. A week passed and Lily's evenings at Blake Tower became a little brighter. She still cleaned, still sang softly when the halls were empty, and still thought about Ethan's unexpected kindness. But not everyone shared his opinion. One afternoon, as she pushed her cleaning cart down the main hallway, she overheard voices coming from a nearby office. Two workers were whispering. I don't know why he keeps praising her, one said. She's just a cleaner. She probably wastes time dancing instead of working. Lily's stomach sank. What if Ethan believes them? She worried. Later that day, Ethan unexpectedly appeared at the office entrance. His expression was serious. Lily, he said calmly, can you come with me for a moment? Her heart thumped. She followed him into his office, wondering if this was about her singing, or worse, if she was going to be scolded. Ethan gestured for her to sit. Then, without raising his voice, he addressed the situation. "I overheard some of my employees talking about you," he said. "They think you aren't working hard enough." Lily's eyes widened. She could feel her cheeks growing warm. Ethan leaned forward, his gaze steady. "I want you to know that I've seen your work. I've seen the way you clean, the care you put into every office. You are one of the most hardworking people I have met in this building. Don't let anyone make you doubt that." Lily felt a rush of relief and gratitude. She wanted to thank him, but the words caught in her throat. Ethan gave a small smile. "I trust you, Lily. Keep being yourself. That's more important than anything anyone else says." For the first time, Lily realized that Ethan was not just watching her, he was standing up for her. She left his office that evening with her head held high. Something had changed. She didn't just like working in Blake Tower anymore. She felt seen, appreciated, and for the first time truly respected. And deep down, Lily couldn't help but feel that her connection with Ethan was becoming something more than just worker and boss. After the confrontation, something between Lily and Ethan quietly began to change. It wasn't sudden and it wasn't dramatic. It was small things, shared smiles, short conversations, and the little moments in the office that made the long nights less lonely. Whenever Lily entered Ethan's office to clean, he would sometimes ask how her day had been or how her brother was doing at school. At first, she felt nervous talking to a billionaire, but Ethan's calm and kind nature made it easy. He didn't act superior or rush her. He listened. One evening, as Lily dusted the bookshelves, Ethan leaned back in his chair and watched her carefully. "You know," he said thoughtfully, "most people here only care about climbing the ladder. They forget what's really important. But you remind me that life isn't just about work." Lily paused, her hand on a thick book. She wasn't sure how to respond. Nobody had ever said something like that to her before. I try my best," she said softly, feeling a little shy. "That's more than enough," Ethan replied with a small smile. Over the next few weeks, their friendship grew. They talked about simple things, books, music, favorite foods, and little dreams they had for the future. Lily learned that Ethan had once loved to play the piano as a boy, though his busy life rarely allowed time for it now. Ethan learned that Lily wanted to save enough money to take her brother to a summer camp she had never attended. It was a quiet connection, the kind that made long nights in the building feel warm instead of lonely. One night, as Lily was leaving, she realized she was smiling more than usual. She looked forward to their conversations and the gentle encouragement Ethan gave her without even trying. For the first time, Lily felt that friendship could grow in the most unexpected places. And Ethan, standing alone in his office afterward, realized that he too was beginning to look forward to seeing Lily every night. Something gentle and unspoken was forming between them, a spark that neither of them could ignore. Lily had always known that life could be hard, but she never imagined it could also bring surprises that felt like sunlight breaking through a cloudy day. One evening, after finishing her cleaning in the quiet hallway, Lily was about to leave when Ethan Blake appeared at the office doorway. This time his expression was different, soft, patient, and excited. "Lily," he said, "do you have a moment?" Lily nodded, curious. She had grown used to Ethan stopping her for small talks, but tonight felt different. He gestured for her to sit in the chair opposite his desk. On the desk was a neatly wrapped envelope. Lily's fingers itched with curiosity. "This is for you," Ethan said gently. "I know how hard you've been working to support your brother. And I know how much you want to help him with school." Lily's heart skipped a beat. She carefully picked up the envelope and opened it. Inside was a letter confirming a scholarship program for her brother at one of the best schools in the city. Her eyes widened and she almost couldn't speak. I don't know what to say," she stammered. Ethan smiled. "You don't need to say anything. Just promise me that you'll keep doing your best, and that your brother will have the chance to follow his dreams too." Tears pricked Lily's eyes. She had never expected such kindness. She wanted to hug him, but she remembered her place as the cleaner and just whispered, "Thank you. I can't believe this." Ethan leaned back in his chair, still smiling. "You deserve it. More than anyone I've met here." As Lily left that evening, she felt lighter than she had in years. Not just because of the scholarship, but because she realized something important. Ethan Blake cared. He cared about her and the people she loved. And in that quiet moment, Lily felt her heart warm in a way it never had before. The spark between them was no longer just curiosity, it was beginning to grow into something stronger, something neither of them could ignore. Days turned into weeks, and Lily noticed something she couldn't ignore. Every time Ethan walked into her cleaning path, her heart seemed to beat a little faster. She found herself smiling more often, thinking about the quiet moments they shared in his office. The talks about dreams, the small laughs, the way he always noticed the little things she did. Ethan noticed too. He found himself looking forward to the evenings when Lily would push her cleaning cart into his office. Her presence brought a calmness he hadn't realized he needed. Her laughter, soft and unassuming, made the tall, busy building feel alive. One evening, as Lily dusted the shelves, Ethan spoke again, quietly, without the weight of business in his voice. "You know, Lily, you make this building feel different. You make it feel alive," he said softly. Lily paused and looked at him. I never thought a place like this could feel alive," she admitted. "It's usually so big and empty. I just try to do my work." Ethan smiled. "It's more than work. It's your heart that shows, Lily. And it's hard not to notice." Her cheeks warmed. She wasn't used to hearing such words and she wasn't sure what to say. She simply nodded, hoping he understood how she felt too. That night, walking home, Lily realized that her feelings for Ethan were growing. She cared about him, not just as her boss or the kind man who helped her brother, but as someone who made her days brighter, someone who made her heart skip a little when he was near. And Ethan, sitting alone in his office afterward, realized the same. What had begun as curiosity and admiration had turned into something deeper. Something neither of them had expected, but both could feel. For the first time, both of them understood that what started as a quiet moment in an empty hallway had begun to grow into real, gentle love. They were no longer just the billionaire and the cleaner, they were two hearts quietly finding each other. It was a quiet evening at Blake Tower, the kind of night when the lights glowed softly against the glass windows, and the hallways seemed to hum with calm. Lily Carter was finishing her work, dusting the last shelf in Ethan Blake's office, when she noticed he was still there, leaning slightly against his desk. "Lily," he said gently, "can we talk for a moment?" Her heart skipped. This felt different from the casual conversations they had shared before. She nodded and stepped closer, curious and a little nervous. Ethan straightened, his eyes meeting hers with a warmth that made her stomach flutter. "I want you to know. I've come to respect you, admire you and care about you more than I can say," he said softly. "Not just for the work you do but for the person you are. Your kindness, your courage, your heart, it matters to me." Lily felt her eyes grow wide. She had imagined this moment in her mind countless times, but never with him speaking these exact words. She swallowed hard, then smiled. "Ethan, I feel the same way. I like you more than I expected." A gentle silence filled the room, full of understanding and unspoken happiness. For a moment, the busy billionaire and the hardworking young cleaner were just two people, standing in the glow of the evening, discovering each other. Ethan reached out and lightly touched her hand. Lily didn't pull away. Instead, she felt a quiet certainty bloom inside her heart. "This is the start of something new," Ethan said. "Something slow, steady and real. We'll support each other, care for each other and see where life takes us." Lily nodded, smiling through the warmth in her chest. "I'd like that," she said softly. And in that quiet office, amidst the glow of city lights and the soft hum of the building, a simple beginning became the start of a beautiful love story. Lily realized that what had started as a moment of singing and dancing alone in the hallway had turned into something extraordinary, a love built on trust, care and respect.